So last week I got a call from a job seeker, Michael. Michael has applied to over 247 job applications in 2 months, just 2 interviews and no job offers at all. So the question is simple. Was Michael failing because he didn't make effort, or was he failing because his effort had no strategy at all? Now, don't answer those questions emotionally. I need you to think academically, because in workforce development, we don't only measure activity, we measure effectiveness. This is why I want you to remember this. Activity is not the same as effectiveness. Alright, so let's move from the case study to academics right away. And of course, we'll definitely be looking at what I call strategic job search behavior versus reactive job search behavior. Strategic job search behavior versus reactive. Reactive versus strategic job search behavior. Alright, so what do you understand by reactive job search behavior and strategic job search behavior? These are behaviors. How do you identify a reactive job seeker from a strategic job seeker? It's simple. A strategic job seeker refers to the intentional and evidence-based employment action that is towards or geared towards to improve outcome. That is basic. But strategic means that it's not random, it is not emotional, and of course it is not repetitive as we have it. So you must understand that to be a strategic job search candidate, there are components, there are traits that you must move. So getting to the academic framework, what exactly do you know when I say you are a reactive job seeker? It's simple. It simply means that you are an emotional job seeker. You always respond to unemployment. That means you are always busy at all time to look for job opportunities. But in other words, you don't have, your outcome is so low and so poor. There is no effectiveness when you are searching for job. You might want to take a look at it. You might want to re-examine yourself, that am I a reactive job seeker or am I a strategic job seeker? Let's get into it and let's diagnose this a bit when I talk about reactive job seeker. What exactly do we know? What are the traits of being a reactive job seeker? Ask yourself, are you a reactive job seeker or a strategic job seeker? What I know basically as a reactive job seeker is very simple. This guy here. One, a reactive job seeker we always apply everywhere. You see the applications, you see the job openings, you click and you send your resume. You see a job opening while working, you take your phone out and you send your resume. That is one of the traits of a reactive job seeker. Of course, your resume is guessing. You know, you definitely cannot put your resume together. You just want to send the same resume to millions and thousands of employers of labor at a time. I also want to tell you categorically that motivation is good, but do I believe in motivation? Yes. Do I believe that motivation should be a continuous thing? Yes. But do people need to live and dine on motivation? No, that is the cross line for me. Motivation is good, but we have some job seekers that are obviously addicted to motivation. So what they need as a therapy is motivation. Unfortunately, you can't get that in my class. So you must be able to motivate yourself by being very strategic. One of the traits of a reactive job seeker is that they are motivationally addicted. They need motivation at all time to do something. You can identify them when you see them. Another trait of a reactive job seeker is quantity obsession. They are very obsessed with quantity. That means they can sit down on the table on a laptop and send over 200 applications using the same resume. All of these traits, then you must know that I am trending into a reactive approach to job seeking as we speak. So that is one of the fundamentals of how you can identify the behavior of a reactive job seeker. But this is the problem, and I must have to tell you the hard truth about this. It is not that you are lazy. Did you get that? Every reactive job seeker, I don't assume that you are lazy. I'm not putting it together that you are lazy, but the difference is that you are strategically disorganized. That's what it means as a reactive job seeker. You are strategically disorganized, to know exactly when to pause, to know exactly when to do your research, to know exactly how to be a strategic job seeker. Those are the real components. You must understand the behavior. The behavior a strategic job seeker is very simple. I need you to get your pen and paper and follow me on this one. Number one, being a strategic, understanding the strategic behavior of a job seeker, you must be able to strategically, job seekers must focus on where their skills actually fit. If you have a skill in editing, you have a skill in numbers, you should know exactly the industry you must apply to value, for employers to value that skills of yours. If you are skillful in accounting, why do you have to be on social media trying to dance and all of that? The skills doesn't match. So number one, trait behavior that you must find in a strategic job seeker is what I call tailor industry. You should be able to target your industry as a strategic job seeker. Target industry. You must be able to understand the industry that you fit in as a strategic job seeker. Another one that I also quickly want to talk about is one generic resume that tells an employer that exactly you are desperate. Employers will definitely know that you are a desperate job seeker. So make sure that you tailor your applications at all times. Do not use the same generic resume to 10 and 20 hundreds of applications at all time. I call it one-on-one, one resume for one job application. That is how employers will know that you are not desperate as a job seeker. Serious candidates study employers before asking the employers to study them. An employer will always study you, but the smart ones will always study the employer first. All that means is that how well do you do research on employer? So you must be able to research very well on every employer of labor that you send your resume to or you want to apply to. Know the culture, know the people, know exactly what sells in that organization before you click on send your package to the employer of labor. Online presence is often your first interview. How visible are you on social media? What an employer gets on social media and decide to look you out on social media, what would they find about you? That's what I call visibility. How visible are you? Visibility. How visible are you on social media? You must understand that your online presence is your first interview. They will check you out. So if they are checking you out, then you must be able to go back there and put your house in order. We have various platform like LinkedIn, like TikTok, like Facebook, that you can optimize your presence, your image to look more corporate to what exactly you are looking for. Listen, networking is good, but you must understand that networking is relationship building, not job begging. People say, I can't go to that event because they feel I'm begging. If that is it, then so be it. You must be able to network very, very well. You are as big as your network. So networking is one big component that you must know. Those are the behaviors of a strategic job seeker. Don't never be playful, messy around with your network. As a matter of fact, be intentional about your networking capacity. Competence without communication, guys, believe me, is still zero. So no matter how competent you are, how skillful you are, your communication must be so strong that if you are called up today for an interview, you should be ready to stand up and fix up that interview. What that means is that practice interview at all time. I need you to practice interview at all time. Practice after practice, practice after practice. As a matter of fact, practice after is practice. After practice is still practice. Believe me, you must practice every time before you get into an interview section. Family and friends can help you out with that. If you need help, can you reach out to me? The biggest one of it, of all of this behavior that I'm putting down on strategic job seeker, is what I call if you don't measure results, guys, you will repeat failure over and over again. How do you measure your results? That is, you must put into cognizance track outcomes. That means you must be able to track your outcome. What is working for you and what is not working for you. So I put this as track outcomes. You should be able to track your outcomes at all times. So these are the behaviors. The behavior of a strategic job seeker. Those are the behaviors. You must understand the behavior. And moving from behavior to my framework, I designed a framework so that you know exactly what you need to do as from reactive being a strategic job seeker. You must have those behavior to be able to be strategic. And having those behavior, I designed 6 steps of my framework. So follow my framework just to move from here to being a strategic job seeker. Number 1, stop blind application. You can't keep applying everywhere. It is not a strategy. It is a sign of panic. So stop blind application. That is number 1, step 1. You must stop right away to start applying everywhere. It is not a strategy, it is a panic. People, employers will know that you are panicking. That's why you keep sending same resume to millions and thousands of employers right away. On a day, you've sent over 500 applications. Sincerely, that is panic threat. It is not a strategic pattern at all. Number 2 is that if you chase every role, you chase every employer definitely won't, they are confused. They won't know what you actually do. So you have the same resume, you keep chasing the different sectors, pharmaceutical, media sectors, financial sectors, for manufacturing sectors. Employers will be definitely confused about who exactly you are. So you definitely need to know your target job family. That's number 2. Target job family. Know exactly the employer who is hiring and who is not hiring. Know exactly the company, the sectors you really want to pitch your tent on, and follow it up right away. Another my step in my framework is what I call documentation. One resume for everything usually wins nothing. I said it before, one generic resume will get you nowhere. So you must be able to tailor your resume, and I call that tailor documentation. Number 3 steps is you must tailor documentation. Try much as possible to tailor your document. What I call under the behavioral hack is what I call one-on-one. One resume to one application. One resume to one application. That can make you a strategic job seeker. Listen, if interviews keep failing, stop blaming the market. Assess your interview performance. That is very strategic, and that's what I call audit interview. Get people to audit your interview. That is step 4. Audit your interview yourself before you get into the interview proper. If you do that, you're able to do that 2 hours every day before the final day of your interview, you might definitely have an upper hand in your real interview, because you must have mastered your communication plans, communication patterns, and techniques to answer those questions professionally in an interview section. I don't joke with networking. As a matter of fact, it's the most powerful weapon if you are a strategic job seeker. So networking is not favoritism. Networking is a professional visibility. Networking is a professional visibility. Number 5 step about my framework to be a strategic job seeker is make networking intentional. Be strategic about your networking. Be strategic about your networking, and that can take you far. So be intentional about it. Your networking, believe me, is not begging. So just go out there, keep going out, keep going. Don't sit at home in the comfort of your home, watch TV. I don't have a problem with you to watch TV and all of the programs, but you must be able to go out there and meet people and network as well. I love it when it comes to conversion, because conversion is the reason why everybody does everything. If you don't measure results, you will repeat mistakes over and over again. And not that you will repeat over and over again, you will repeat it over and over again, and you feel so confident about it. So you should be able to track conversion. That's my final steps to work with my framework. Number 6 steps to be a strategic job seeker is track conversion. Every of the steps, the trait, or the behavior of a strategic job search, you must be able to do what? To track conversion. Know exactly what is working. Out of all of this framework, know exactly what is working, and by the time you're able to get the perfect framework for yourself, that means you have the key. If you have the key, of course you can access the door and go into the room of job opportunity. So get the framework very well. Number one is stop applying blindly. Number two step is target your job family. Know exactly what you want, the industry you want to go into. Number three step is you need to tailor documentation. Know your resume, tailor your resume, one resume per job application. Number four step, audit interviews. Have people to sit right in front of you as employer and do your interview and get ready 2 hours every day before an interview proper will definitely get you that confidence and trust you need to beat the interviewer. And of course, the number fifth step is what I call networking strategy. This is not begging. Make sure you don't sit at the comfort of your home every day to watch TV or to dance. Make sure that you're able to go out, spend 4 hours at least outside, workshops, job fairs, events, meet people, exchange cards, make what I call a greeting card about what you do, your skills and value. Exchange it. And the last one is what I call track conversion. Know exactly what is working for you. Out of all of this framework, 2 or 3 should be working for you. The moment you're able to identify what is working for you, you build on it as a strategic job seeker. And with that, you definitely can be in this process because you have the behavior. With the behavior, you can tell who exactly is not getting a job and who is getting a job. So in other words, I'm going to give you a very simple formula which I call applications. Applications, applications to what? To interview. Interviews to what? Interviews to final rounds, and final rounds to what? That is the goal. That is the goal of every job seeker, which is what? Which is job offer. Very simple framework. Study these 6 steps of my framework and you should be able to see that, you know what, I think those framework will work for me as a job seeker. It is simple. Know the difference between a reactive and strategic. There are different behaviors of a reactive job seeker and a strategic job seeker. Ask yourself, this is a takeaway. Effort without strategy leads to what? Exhaustion. You are tired, you are weak. But strategy leads to what? Employability, which is the job offer. And my reflection question to you before I wrap up is, are you strategic job seeker or you are just exercising? That means unemployment activity is all you do every time. Busy, but not getting the effectiveness result or outcome. So send me your answers, send me your questions. I will be here to talk to you as well. Abimbola Adewale is my name. I need you to comment, to share, and of course to join me again next week.